You want to find that drive and focus that has you locked in and on fire every single day? My book, The Mirror Motivation, will do it for you. I bought a copy for you. You take care of the shipping. The book is free. Click the link down there. I got you. Dre Baldwin, workonmygame.com. My sophomore year in college, we were at a basketball tournament. I was on a basketball team. We had a basketball tournament. I don't even remember where we were, but the coach said to everybody, look, we're going to have a meeting in my hotel suite at 1 o'clock or whatever it was. So the whole team comes into the coach's hotel suite, like 15 players, the coaching staff. And the coach says, we're going to do a little exercise right now. And he hands every player a little index card. And on the index card, it was like 1 or 2 sentences on each card. And he explained to us that there's a little short story that he broke up into pieces, and he put one piece of the story on each index card, and he hands each player 1 card. So each of us has a little fragment of this story that we put it all together as one story. And he says, I'm gonna give y'all as a team 5 minutes to put this whole story together. Y'all need to figure out what the story is, put it all together, because each one of you has a piece of the story. Put it all together, and in 5 minutes, when this timer goes off, y'all gonna appoint one person to tell me the whole story. So basically all y'all gotta do is put this together, figure out who has what, put the story together. But here's the challenge with the story is that nobody's allowed to look at anybody else's index card. The only way you can communicate what you have on your card is you have to say it verbally, and y'all just have to talk it out and figure out who has what on their card, and then y'all gonna appoint one person to tell the whole story. But y'all can't look at each other's cards, you just gotta talk. And coach is like, all right, go. And he starts the timer for 5 minutes. So this is what happened. We had a couple guys on the team who were more like outspoken people who talk more than other people. So they started talking and trying to like organize things and tell people, all right, what you got on your card, what you got, and they're putting the story together. And then you got a couple people on the team who don't say shit. They never talk. So they wasn't saying anything except when they were talked to. Then you had a few people in the middle, somebody like myself. Like I was talking enough to say my piece, but I also understood that everybody had to say their piece because everybody had one index card. So nobody should talk more than anybody else. So the time gets up, and finally the coach is like, all right, y'all ready? He was like, all right, who's the person who's going to tell the story? And it was one of the more outspoken guys who's going to tell the story. And we were about to deliver this story, and the coach was like, all right, tell me the story. And I said, hold up. Before we tell the story, I got something that I need to ask. So when I said that, there's a few people on the team in the room. They got like exasperated, like, all right, what you want to say? Because they was all like, I guess, in a rush to get the story out because they felt like they had the right answer. And I said, before we turn this story in, let me ask a question to everybody in the room. Is there anybody in here, I'm talking to the players, who has anything on their index card that does not align with the story that we're about to turn in? Anybody have anything that contradicts with the solution that we're about to turn in right now? And everybody thought that maybe some people, the outspoken people, thought that was maybe a dumb question to ask because we had already figured out the answer, right? But when I asked that question, one of the quiet dudes on the team who never says anything, he spoke up and he was like, well, you know, on my card it says this, and it was completely going against the story that we were about to turn in. So then the outspoken guys, as soon as they heard him say that, they throw their hands up in disgust. They like, yo, why didn't you say nothing? Why didn't you tell us that you had something different? Why didn't you tell that part of the story when we was going through the organization and all this? And, you know, it's this upheaval going on in the room. And finally, the coach who's listening to all this, he intervenes and he's like, what do y'all think I'm trying to get y'all to understand through this exercise? And everybody gets quiet because the whole point of the exercise obviously went over a whole bunch of people's heads. And I finally speak up and I say, what you're trying to get us to understand here, coach, is that everybody in the room has an equal share in what they contribute to the group. The problem is some people in this room ain't saying anything, so they're not contributing what they can actually contribute because they're not speaking up. Because everybody had one index card, right? With one part of the story. Everybody had equal weight. And at the same time, as those people are not contributing what they have to contribute, some people in this room need to shut the fuck up because they're doing too much. They're talking too much. They're getting in the way of us actually doing what we need to do because they're contributing or trying to contribute more than what they actually have to offer. And for all of you, this is what you need to understand. On any team that you're on, while we understand that in any team, whether that's in a family, a business, a sports team, everybody's not 100% the same. Everybody's not equal. If you got 10 people on the team, everybody doesn't have 10% say or 10% power. On some teams, like a basketball team on the court, you got people who score more than others. You got people who grab rebounds, people who set picks, people who pass, people who play D, and you got some people who don't play at all. But understanding that even though some people may have more responsibility in certain aspects of the game, if you're a part of a team, everybody has a job to do. Everybody has a role. Everybody plays some role in some way on every team. Even if you sit on the bench, you play a role because you need to practice hard every day, or you need to clap for your teammates, or you need to hand your teammates some water during the timeout. That's a role. That's part of being on the team. And if you didn't have that, somebody would have to do that job if you're not there to do it. So the point is, no matter what your status on a team, or if you think you're very important or you think you're not important at all, if you're part of a team, everybody has a role to play and everybody has a job to do. And you need to take your job and your role seriously and play that job, play that role, do your job seriously, because if you're not doing it, somebody still has to do that job. And if nobody's doing that job, even if you think it's a small, insignificant job, as soon as you're not doing it, everybody's going to realize how valuable that job actually is. So the job that everybody thinks is a nothing job, it doesn't matter job, like it's a nobody job for somebody who's not important, as soon as there's nobody doing that nobody job, all of a sudden everybody realizes, damn, we actually need somebody to do that job. That job actually matters. And that's what I want you to take from this. So every role that you have, if you're the leader of a team, you need to make sure everyone on your team has instilled in them that their role matters, their position matters, the role that they're filling, the space that they're filling actually matters, even if they think they're not that big or not that important. Everybody's position plays a part in contributing to the whole. So work on your game. Dre all day.